investigate all the circumstances surrounding the sale of these 4 prominent hotels. And he seemed to have made a very strong case. He says that selling these hotels to somebody in power, in fact, who is the agriculture minister, constitutes a clear abuse of state powers.
Yeah.
You cannot disagree with him, because if SSNIT, that is where we all put our contributions, and they want to do something, I think for all contributors, they have a say in what SSNIT should do with their contributions.
My brother, thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, we need to put the matters in perspective. What is the issue? What is the issue? The issue is that someone is alleging, first of all, a conflict of interest, because a certain member, or let me say a certain minister who is a public servant, owns a company that has won, or that whose bid has gone through for another state institution called SSNIT that is selling their properties. Now, what are the facts? Is it true that since 2012, SSNIT has been looking for investors? Yes. Since the time of, under the NDC period, Ernest Thompson, SSNIT has been looking for investors. Only God knows why they didn't get investors. In 2017, under the leadership of the new governing board of SSNIT, they assess all their assets, and they say that when it comes to the SSNIT hotels, 6 of them needs revamping. But the question is, how much would they cost? If you look at the analysis, just the revamping is costing over $100 million. And I have all the facts here. Over $100 million. Then SSNIT, I don't know what decision the board made, but what happens is that they realize that they need what? A strategic investor. It's very important. People are saying that, oh, they are selling off our hotels. No. SSNIT is selling 60% with the aim of getting a strategic investor.
A strategic investor?
Yes.
Who is not indebted himself?
Who's not in debt? I'll come to that.
Right.
We'll have to come, because for someone to be in debt, the person will not be able to get a letter of comfort. Or lawyer, can someone be in debt and get a letter of comfort? Which bank will do that? But we'll get to that. SSNIT takes the decision that we need to start with the process. But people have raised the argument that why didn't SSNIT float the shares? And it's a very important question to ask, because I'm sure if SSNIT was floating shares now, we'll all be buying. Or lawyer, you wouldn't buy some. We'll all be buying. Probably we'll all be buying. But when it comes to who a strategic investor is, it's not just about the money you are bringing. There are 2 main important things. First of all, your capacity. What capacity does a strategic investor have when it comes to hotel? What should they be looking at? My brother, the first thing they should be looking at is their financials. Let me say the capacity. When it comes to capacity, there are 2 things. The first is your financial capacity and your operational capacity. And that's what SSNIT was looking for. Who has a good financial capacity to do this deal? Because, first of all, you have to drop some money for SSNIT before you come to something called the CAPEX, which is the capital expenditure. You are not just coming in and saying, I've given you this money and that's all. SSNIT was looking for someone who put money down for the shares. Then that same person is going to put another additional money, which is called the capital expenditure. For what? The additional money for the revamping of all the hotels. So it wasn't an easy thing. And my brother, if I show you the document here, which we have to go on it, because issues of conflict of interest has been raised. And people have you have some honorable members who do not read very well. They don't look at the facts, or let me say, they believe in conjecture because of maybe their upbringing. So you know what they do? They rather focus on a certain part of the facts and leave other parts of the facts. So before I even come to the figures, that's what SSNIT is looking for. Now let's go to the figures. How much did SSNIT value all its assets? Which I think, let me give you a copy so that you will be able to understand what I'm talking about. I'll take a copy here. Lawyer, there's a copy for you.
Let me have it.
Yes, okay. Copy on the assets so that we will all be able to understand what's going on. So you see the document you are holding. I wouldn't want to mention the other companies because there's a reason why SSNIT decided not to mention the other people trying to invest. I don't know, maybe.
But let me just say that I've seen this document.
You've seen this document, okay? So you can pass on.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Lawyer.
So for someone to be a strategic investor, the first thing is, we are talking about the finances. Does the person have the finance to do the deal? It's very important. First of all, SSNIT says when it comes to their first hotel, Labadi Beach Hotel, they are looking for the valuation by the independent transaction manager is 23 million. 23.3 million. Let's ask ourselves, Rock City, which someone will say Brian Champon. Brian Champon is just a majority shareholder, and over the years, there's no record of him even receiving dividends because all the money, all the profits that Rock City has received has gone back into expanding the business. Are you getting it?
You know that he himself has also stated that he owns the company.
Yes, he owns. That's why I said that he's 100%, proudly 100% shareholder. What is wrong with a Ghanaian owning a business? You see, this. I'll come to that part. I just want us to finish with the facts.
Right.
Della, Labadi Beach Hotel. Lawyer, you can see it. Labadi Beach Hotel. They said their valuation was 23 million. I'm sure Rock City also did their own valuation. And they did a valuation of 29 million. And that was the bid they submitted. Look at the other two companies, which I don't want to mention their name because I don't know why SSNIT has not placed the document out. They made a valuation of what? 18 million and 9 million. Can you imagine that when you add the two of them, the two companies, if they decide to come together as one, their bid does not even reach what Rock City has. Is that not surprising? The same goes to the next. Labadi Beach Hotel, 21 million. That was a bid that Rock City made. But the valuation was 22.5 million, which is a little of 1 million under it. But look at the two other companies. When you add the two of them together, does it reach what Rock City even bidded for? Or the bid that Rock City placed in? Look at again the ask price of Ridge Royal, 6 million. Rock City placed 8. But the rest of the companies were not interested in that. They come to Elmina Beach. It was only Rock City. They were asking they were asking for when it comes to Elmina Beach. The valuation was 7 million. Rock City placed a lower valuation, and he was only one in the lot. If you look at the total sum of what Rock City presented and the ask or the valuation that is expected, it's 59.1 million. 59.1 million. Rock City rather sends a bid of 61.2, which is more than expected. Then you ask yourself, after that, does Rock City have the financials? Does Rock City have the financials to be able to back what they are bidding? Because everybody can bid. Today, when there's an interest, I can bid. But your bankers or your bank must be able to support you with what they call a comfort letter. This is the document on a comfort letter. And for let me say private reasons, I wouldn't want to mention the banks here. two bankers, which you should have a look at. Two bankers provided a solid comfort letter, and they stated emphatically that they have more than necessary of what the two banks combined together have more than necessary of what it takes to do the deal. So when it comes to finance, if you want to say there was a conflict of interest, right, here, anywhere around the finance, one of the things you should have been looking at is that, or one of the things that can amount to a conflict of interest is that maybe one of the companies had a higher bid more than Rock City. Then SSNIT says, okay, then we'll sell to Rock City. When it comes to just the financials, then that is questionable. Why is it? But that is not the case. If today there's a government project, government is selling an asset, then me as a government person, I take in a bid of 20 Ghana. Let's say the asset is 100 Ghana. I take in a bid of, let me say, 50 Ghana. And lawyer takes in a bid of 80 Ghana. Then they give the contract to me, or they sell the house to me. Then it's questionable. Then we can start inferring on or making allegations of, was there a conflict of interest? Then you now go to capacity, the capacity on operations.
Right. So, Alfred, I understand the fire, but just hold on. Let me speak to lawyer. I'll come back to you. Lawyer, what does the law really say about conflict of interest? Because in this sale, that is one of the things that has really dominated conversation.
Thank you very much. Good morning to my colleagues here.
And before you continue, let me just plead with you. We've just been joined by Kwame Janto, a senior member of the CPP, and of course a private legal practitioner. Kwame, good to see you and good morning to you.
Good morning. I haven't seen you in a while, eh?